Good morning, Texas, and happy Texas Independence Day. I'm live at the Barrel and Bones in North Richland Hills, and these fine folk have something to say.
GMT starts now!
Woo! Yeehaw!
Live, this is Good Morning Texas.
Good morning, Texas. Happy Monday. I'm Erin Hunter. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning. It is a new week and a new opportunity to make it a good one, so let's do it. Here's what's coming up on today's show. If you love Shakespeare and beer, don your finest garb, you guys, for the Shakespeare Dallas pub crawl. We're going to tell you all of the details, plus how to sign up and what you need to know if you are newly engaged. It's kind of that season right now where all of our friends and family are finding the loves of their life, but putting in that work before you actually say I do. Marriage is work, and we want to prep you and get you ready for all of the years of love that you have to come. So stick around for that. And then let's get a check of our weather this morning with meteorologist Greg Fields. It was quite warm this past weekend. What can we expect going into a new week?
Yeah, the warm temperatures are going to be sticking around there, Erin. Good morning to you and good morning, everyone. But we do have some rain and thunderstorm chances back in the forecast here this week. We'll get to that in just a bit. Let's get you on out to the UNT campus here in Denton. One of the cooler areas here, a little farther north this morning, 53 degrees. Those north and northeast winds there this morning, but the mostly cloudy skies out there right now. Started out to clear this morning, but those clouds have rolled in. Now, as we get back on the other end of the Metroplex, those south and southwest winds down at DBU, 64 degrees there right now. So you see that frontal boundary across the area. So north of that, we will have those light north and northeast winds, upper 40s along the Red River. And then we have the low mid 60s as we head south of that front. So the front stationary for the most part won't be moving much farther south. So we're going to be, for the most part, on the warm, humid, more humid side of that with those upper 70s, close to 80 degrees, we think, today. And it will stay a little bit cooler along and north of that boundary, up along the Red River, 60s and 70s more likely as we head into this afternoon. So it does stay rain-free, but that will change as we head later into the week. Looking ahead to Election Day tomorrow, it will be a dry, mostly cloudy, a windy day, though. If you're heading out to the polls, we'll have those winds 15 to 25, some gusts up around 30 miles per hour, and very warm with the mostly cloudy skies through the afternoon. We're going to be looking at some lower 80s as we get into Tuesday. Now, Wednesday, that's when things do become a little more unsettled. We'll have some showers and thunderstorms. A weather alert day is in place beginning on Wednesday. We could be looking at hail and damaging winds, perhaps, with some of those stronger storms. So make sure you do stay updated. More storms down the road as well later this week, too. So we'll talk about that later in the show. But now, Erin, back to you.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Greg. Today is Texas Independence Day, commemorating our Declaration of Independence way back in 1836. And although we are now a member of the USA, many still like to think of themselves as the Lone Star amongst the other states. Paige is live at the newly opened Barrel and Bones in North Richland Hills to celebrate our great state of Texas. Hello, Paige.
Well, howdy, y'all. Good morning to you, and good morning, Texas. We are here at Barrel and Bones. This is the newly opened location in North Richland Hills. We got a good group here, don't we? Woo! Yeah, we're Texas proud. That's so true, because we are indeed celebrating Texas Independence Day way back, as you heard, in 1836. We declared our independence. It didn't last too long. We're now part of the old red, white, and blue of the United States of America, but
Absolutely.
we kind of still have a little independent blood in it.
You know we have that Texan pride.
We sure do.
Absolutely.
This is Ryan Hayes. He is with Barrel and Bones and is the master behind all of these delectable, yummy things with regards to barbecue. Let's talk a little bit about how Barrel and Bones is like the perfect place to come to celebrate Texas Independence Day.
Well, not only do we have all of this fantastic food, but we've got a great team. We carry tons of Texas spirits, lots of local beers, just everything you need to have a great time today.
And you really know your stuff. We're going to give you a little lesson in barbecue. So come on over here, Ryan. Let's take a look at this, because this is some stuff that you can do at home. If you say have, I don't know, 8 hours on you,
Sure.
because it takes a long time. You've got to commit to barbecue if you want some
Absolutely.
good tender barbecue.
Yeah, so, you know, you stop, you pick yourself up a nice brisket, a choice, or a prime, and you got a little work to do. As you can see, it's kind of a fatty piece of meat, and before you get it in the smoker, you got to do some work here. So what you're going to do is start on the bottom side here. You're looking for anything that's kind of hard. We're going to trim that off. And then we're going to flip it over here. We're going to trim all this fat down to about 1/4 of an inch consistency around it. and then round off your corners and your edges so that smoke can roll around your brisket really well. You don't end up with any burnt or charred pieces.
You seem to know a thing or two about this.
We
don't
make
you?
a couple.
We make a couple
a day.
That's so
yeah.
true. All right, let's go on then. From there,
Yeah.
we talk about seasoning.
So you're gonna end up with this guy here. As you can see, we've trimmed it, we've rounded it. Next thing you got to do is season it. And you want to make sure you season it nice and liberally. That's going to create that beautiful bark.
Now, is your seasoning specific to barrel and bones?
You know, they say barbecue's an art, so there is no right or wrong way. People like to experiment, but what we do is just salt, pepper, garlic, and paprika.
Just keep it that
Just keep
simple.
it simple,
Just
absolutely.
keep it simple. All right, and you
And-
also say season liberally, though.
Oh yeah, you got to get it on there. I mean, you really want to make sure you're getting it nice and coated. Don't be stingy with it. A lot of this seasoning is going to absorb into the meat as we're doing that cook. You got to remember that cook is going to be, you know, 8 to 10 hours depending on the size of your brisket.
And it's
So-
all about low and slow. And also it's
Low
about the
and
wood.
slow.
There's a lot of hot sports opinions when it comes to the type of wood used to barbecue. What's the choice of barrel and bones?
Post oak is what we use.
Post
Yeah,
oak.
a lot of people use all different kinds of meats because again, it is an art, you know. So experiment a little bit on your own. We like post oak. It gives it enough smoky flavor without being overpowering or getting bitter on you. And we've just found that that's what people like.
All right, but it's so much more than just the barbecue. We're talking fixins, and boy, woo-wee, do you have some fixins. So there's our beautiful piece of meat, if you will. Yummy, yummy fixins. Tell us what we're looking at right here.
We've got a little bit of most of our great stuff here. We've got some Texas Twinkies, some delicious pulled pork.
Stop. Texas Twinkies. Can we please unwrap what this is about?
So these guys are going to be smoked jalapenos. We've cored and seeded them to keep them from being too hot for you. We stuff them with chopped brisket, cream cheese, shredded cheese. We're going to wrap them back up in bacon, smoke them again to get that bacon crispy. And then we use a beautiful Guinness-based glaze to add a little sweetness on the front end of those.
I also like your twice-baked potato salad. You got some elotes, but we only have a little bit of time left, and I want you to cut me some of that
let's
brisket.
get into that
You know,
brisket.
Come on, people. That's what we're here for. At the end of the day, it is about the barbecue. And Barrel and Bones is an all-curated menu. And one thing, too, is about the sauce. Each place has their own kind of sauce, and certainly Barrel and Bones is no different. As you're getting that beauty out for me to sample, what kind of sauce, what makes your secret sauce so special?
Ours is nice and robust. It's not too sweet, not too spicy. It's kind of right in the middle of the road. But being homemade, you know, the love that's put into it really just kind of sets it apart from a lot of places.
We got about 30
All right,
seconds.
we're going to get into
Let's
this
get
guy
going
here. Just pulled this off the smoker. And as you can see,
folks out here,
that
can we
is
get a
a
round
nice
of applause for
juicy
that
brisket there.
beautiful brisket? I can't think. Cut me off a little slice.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot think of a better way to celebrate Texas Independence Day. As you mentioned, we are still like a little independent nature, and this is a great place to celebrate. So I'm going to be taking a little bite myself, and who knows, Aaron, maybe I'll be bringing some of this back to you. Thanks,
I was just
guys.
talking.
Yeah.
I was literally just talking to our next guest, and I was like, I hope they pack this up for her. My goodness, that looks good
Not too bad.
indeed. Hopefully she heard me and she'll actually pack it up. All I heard was her going, that's good. So let's hope that it actually makes it back here. All right, let's switch gears. Hear ye, a merry revel awaits in the Bishop Arts District. Shakespeare Dallas bids thee don thy finest attire and embark upon a spirited tavern crawl filled with scenes and sonnets and surprises. Jenny Stewart, Executive and Artistic Director for Shakespeare Dallas, joins me with your invite, of course, to the Shakespeare Dallas Pub Crawl. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, this has my name written all over it because I love anything that is a time period piece, but I also love a good bar crawl as well. So tell me a little bit about how this idea came about.
Well, we've been doing it for about 15 years, and we moved to all kinds of neighborhoods in Dallas, and right now we're in Bishop Arts, which is my favorite spot in all of the city to go to. And so it's going to be this Saturday, March 7th, out during the daytime, get a little day drinking on, but there's also going to be pop-up performances and games and trivia and prizes. So it's just a really fun way to kick off off our season and get out into a fun neighborhood and have a great day with all of our guests.
Yes, and you know what? I like the fact that you touched on the day drinking because as we get older, listen, we just don't make it out at night anymore.
I know,
so
exactly.
This is the perfect way to indulge while also making sure that you're staying awake and you can participate. So tell me, because I just talked about the garb and you can show up and you can pretty much just dive into the world of Shakespeare. So do you encourage everyone to dress up in attire?
Absolutely, and so many people do. So if you love Halloween or if you like going to the Ren Fair or any of that, it's time to dust out whatever's in your closet and have a really good time. But if it's not your thing, there are also people who don't dress up, so no one needs to feel pressure. So it's whatever feels good is gonna work for us at the pub crawl.
But you know what? There's something about everyone in unison in their costumes. It just makes it feel all the more real, right? So Shakespeare Dallas just announced its 54th season, which is so exciting. So what shows will be a part of the season to come?
In the summer, we're gonna have The Merry Wives of Windsor, and that's gonna be paired with Alice in Wonderland, which is a non-Shakespeare play. So for those who Shakespeare might not be their cup of tea, we've got that fun show to go. And the fall we'll have Titus Andronicus.
Wow, very good. Let's talk about Shakespeare in the Park, because you guys don't just put on these productions, they're put on outside, in the elements, in the park. Tell me about what people can expect when they attend that.
Well, I think it's the best way to have a picnic in the city. So you can pack up all your charcuterie, get your food and drink, and come out to the park, and it's dinner and a show, really.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that sounds like so much fun and the perfect date night. Maybe switch it up a little bit. You also have memberships at Shakespeare Dallas, and so tell me a little bit more about how that works.
It's the best value. So if you buy a membership, you get unlimited admission to Shakespeare in the Park. So you just come out, all your plans are taken care of, and you get discounted tickets for the pub crawl.
Ooh.
So it's a win-win.
Look, okay, there we go. We're getting discounts all over the place. There's a reason to get involved. Thank you so much for being here this morning and letting us know about our weekend plans that are quickly coming up. And if you're thinking, okay, this is for me, and you have a costume waiting, again, the Shakespeare Dallas Pub Crawl is this Saturday, March 7th. There is still time to get tickets. All you have to do is go to shakespearedallas.org. Thank you.
Thank you.
After you get engaged, it's easy to get wrapped up in picking the venue and the flowers and the dress, but don't leave out the most important part, preparing for the marriage. Dr. Brad Schwal with the Center for Integrative Counseling and Psychology is here with his take on how couples can build a strong foundation before becoming husband and wife. Hello to you, Dr. Schwal.
Hello.
Congratulations, first and foremost, because you're married yourself now.
Well, yes, thank you.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so he's the perfect person to be talking to us about this. Tell me, why do couples need to work on the relationship before the actual marriage happens?
It's so important to lay the groundwork for focusing on what matters most, and that is the relationship. We're preparing for problems. We're not trying to prevent problems. So I know that sounds a little negative when you're all about the fun and preparing for all the fun things that come with a wedding, but the human brain is a complex matter, right? And so our relationship. So by being intentional and getting used to focusing on relationship, that's what prepares us for the future.
Yes. Well, they do say marriage is work, and it sounds like that is a true statement. So you often say couples should prepare for marriage, not just their wedding. So what does that really look like on a day-to-day?
So it does mean day-to-day taking time to touch base about your relationship, getting used to those habits that are so important, and that is positive communication, that is affirmation, that is checking in on each other's days. So really focus on those daily habits that will prepare you ongoing, not just all of the tasks that it takes. And of course, as you're preparing, there is some stress. And so I always tell couples, focus on the fun of it. It's about you, it's not about others, so focus on each other.
Small habits make a big impact is what I'm hearing. And also to remember the fact that, because it does get stressful, and in those moments you feel like it's you versus your person, when really it's you and your person versus the problem, it sounds like what you're saying, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Very good. So what should couples be focused on during that engagement? What specifically? I heard you say communication.
Yeah, so first, communication. And again, this is preparing for the whole relationship. Communication is cooperation. So how do we engage in problem solving? How do we talk to each other when we're working on a task together? How are we focused on that check-in each day? Because the more that we get kind of separate in our daily activities and stresses, the more we only focus on stress at work and not on each other. So the communication needs to be about each other, about future dreams, about checking in on how the other is doing, and not trying to solve problems for our partner, but instead just encouraging them.
Okay, I like that because it's very easy to get caught up in your other person's problems, trying to fix it for them before they've even reached a solution themselves.
Absolutely.
I like that. Okay, now how can we strengthen communication and conflict resolution skills before we actually say I do?
So early on in the relationship, when it comes to conflict, we're able and needing to gauge how the other manages conflict. Sometimes people need some time. They need some time to process. And when the other person wants to get it out on the table right away, it kind of scares the other person.
And usually opposites attract.
True, yes. Be in tune with how the other responds and reacts, and get into a rhythm for handling whatever conflict that might be.
Yes. Okay, I like that. Very good tips. Now, what about financial conversations? Those should be had well before the wedding, especially when you're spending money on the wedding.
So finances are so tricky, and that's something that we almost are more afraid to talk about than even intimacy. So it really is important to, even on this one, get some outside help. Because there is so much psychology to money as far as saving and spending. And so we're going to talk about premarital counseling. And so finances really is an important topic to talk about with somebody else who maybe has financial expertise or a counselor.
Oh my goodness. Okay, you just mentioned intimacy as well. Can you expand upon that? What should we be working on? Because some couples choose not to partake and others do. And so how do we come to that?
So when it comes to understanding love languages, we hear that often. We need to understand what those are. So they can be affirmation, they can be acts of service, they can be time together, but also physical affection. And so here again, we're practicing reading the other. We're practicing reading the other in a way that we are able to show our love and join together in a way that is respectful, but also is such an important part of being close.
Yes. Okay, but I like that you also touched on the love languages as well, because when you hear intimacy, you go straight to one thing, but there's so much lead up before that one thing that where you have to really engage with your partner. This is great information. You just mentioned possible counseling, and this would be a good idea for a lot of engaged couples to do. So tell us where we can find you.
So absolutely, thecentercounseling.org, we have a program called Marriage Prep. And it's really growth promoting, it's positive, it's focused on working with a couple through those different topics. And it's about enjoying the relationship. Sometimes couples are afraid of premarital counseling, think, oh, I don't want to unleash all these problems.
Blow it up before I get down out.
So the Center Counseling, follow us, because we do send out information on trainings and talks to support folks. So there's centercounseling.org. You can sign up for our email and also follow us on our socials.
Very good. Thank you so much, Dr. Bradshaw, for being here this morning.
Thank you.
Still to come on today's show, a big weekend for Ryan Coogler, centered success at the NAACP Awards. I'm spilling the GMT on the big night. And later, we're in the GMT kitchen for a preview of this year's Taste 2026. Don't go anywhere. GMT is so much more coming right after the break. It is my favorite time of morning. It's time for some GMT, and if you ain't got the tea, you must not be watching me. So let's spill it this morning. The 57th annual NAACP Image Awards, also known as one of the biggest and blackest award shows of the entire award season, it went off without a hitch on the last day of Black History Month this past weekend. This year's host, comedian Dion Cole, kept the laughs rolling throughout the night, but there were also touching moments like Samuel L. Jackson coming out in a traditional African garb to give a riveting speech about and a tribute about civil rights leader Jesse Jackson and all of his works. And his words, much like Jackson's, caused the audience to applaud and reminisce about the powerful life of an American icon who left a truly undeniable legacy. So from that to Viola Davis and Coleman Domingo taking home the prestigious Chairman's and President's Award, respectively, to Salt and Peppa getting inducted into the NAACP Image Awards Hall of Fame. There was more than enough amazing moments where the legends received their flowers, and they deserved it a ton. And can I just say, Coleman Domingo, this outfit right here that he has going on, he dominates male fashion every time he pops out. Salt and pepper right there with Spinderella. And one of the more surprising moments of the night, though, center star Delroy Lindo came on stage alongside the film's director, Ryan Coogler, to present an award. This marked his first public appearance since the now infamous BAFTA incident he had with Michael B. Jordan and the man who had Tourette's last week. Lindo got on stage and received a standing ovation from the audience and made an official remark about the previous award show moment, saying, quote, "We appreciate all of the support and love that we have been shown in the aftermath of what happened last weekend. It does mean a lot to us." And in what should come as a surprise to absolutely no one, Ryan Coogler and the Center's crew walked away as the big winners of the night, while Lindo and Wanmi Mansuku previously won for Outstanding Supporting Actor and Actress for their roles in the movie, and Coogler won for Outstanding Writing and Directing. Miles Catton won for Breakout Role, while Michael B. Jordan won for Outstanding Actor in a Motion Picture, and Entertainer of the Year. Centers also won for Outstanding Motion Picture, and when Coogler and the acting ensemble accepted the award for Outstanding Motion Picture, he gave a moving speech as well, saying in part, quote, "Our people have been here for over 4 centuries. There's always been a lot of lies told about us, and a lie, no matter how powerful the person saying it is still a lie, and the truth, no matter how little power the person has at saying the truth, is still the truth. And the truth is, you guys are loved, you guys are beautiful, you are powerful, and you are mighty," end quote. This left viewers, including myself, feeling seen and heard. And Centers didn't just win, you guys. It made NAACP history with 18 nominations and 13 wins. It was the perfect way to close out Black History Month, celebrating a film that honors our stories and our talent and our legacy on one of the biggest stages out there. It isn't just cinema, it is culture, it is history, it is excellence in motion. It is Black storytelling and Black power and Black history, and it's still being written. You guys, they made history. They're rewriting the history books. They also had a sweep at the Actors Awards last night. So plenty of things that are happening in the world of Hollywood, but Center seems to be dominating in every avenue. So shout out to them. And yes, I did bring Black history into the month of March, because why not? All right, let's get to our weather. What's going on outside, Greg?
All right, things will be changing toward the middle of this week with a strong, potentially severe thunderstorms, and some active weather will continue right on into the upcoming weekend. So we'll have one more look at your forecast when GMT continues after this.
Live, this is Good Morning Texas.
I have to ask, because it was February and we were in the 80s. Did you at least enjoy the weekend? Did you get out, take a walk?
I did. I got out. It was nice.
Okay. But now we're rolling into March. Spring-like temperatures are actually permissible. They're acceptable.
Yeah, spring-like storms, too. Going to have that as well across the area. By the middle of the week, we'll have those storms rolling in. Today's going to be dry, probably on Election Day tomorrow as well. And then things will change midweek as we take out to Fort Worth one more time. A warm 66 degrees there right now. And some partly sunny skies we're going to have out there for you right now. Some lower clouds have rolled in, and you can see it's mostly cloudy coming back over to downtown Dallas still as well. 64 there. Now, as we head toward the middle of the week, Wednesday afternoon and evening, we do have that slight risk for some strong and severe thunderstorms across North Texas. So we could see that P to quarter size hail, some 40+ mile per hour winds, maybe approaching severe limits with some of those winds. So there will be some isolated higher wind gusts. Just keep that in mind for the middle of the week. And you see those rain chances do ramp up to about a 60% coverage on Wednesday, scattered about there on Thursday, and then more widespread rain and thunderstorms expected on Friday as we head into Friday's night. Going into Saturday, showers and thunderstorms are going to be likely. Could see some stronger thunderstorms during that time frame as well, along with some locally heavy rain. So just plan accordingly here over the next few days as some unsettled weather will settle in for the latter half of the week and for the upcoming weekend. So speaking of, here's that 14-day forecast for you, that weather alert in place for Wednesday there. It will stay dry. Look at that. It will be windy and warm, though, as we get into Tuesday for Election Day, up around 84 for that high. And then we're going to keep it right around 80 through the end of the week. Cooler, though, over the weekend as we spring forward. Heading into Saturday night, setting those clocks ahead 1 hour, we'll have some low 70s with still some scattered showers and thunderstorms around as we get into Saturday and Sunday. Now, the second half of that 14-day forecast, we'll keep it a little bit on the damp side and warm as we get into the early middle part of next week with still some low-end rain chances out there. But then it gets a little bit cooler as we head toward the end of that 14-day outlook with highs only around 60 as we wrap up next week. All right, Aaron, back over to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Greg, for keeping us up to date. This Thursday, food and philanthropy come together for one incredible night. The Hendricks Scholarship Foundation's Taste 2026 is bringing together top local chefs, all to raise money for Plano ISD graduates. So here to tell us so much more is Chef Manny Vera from True Lux, and Jaslyn, who is a junior at UNT and a recipient of the Hendricks Scholarship Foundation. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
So glad to have you both here. Jaslyn, I am coming to you first. How did you get involved with Hendrick, and how did that end up impacting your education?
Yeah, I first heard about Hendrick when they decided to come by my high school and kind of introduce themselves and kind of what their foundation is about.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've kind of been introduced to so many cool people, so many great connections, and also had the financial burden of higher education kind of lessened.
Oh, I love that. That's great. Okay, tell me, what are you studying right now?
I'm currently studying event design and experience management at the University of North Texas.
Nice. Okay, very cool. What are you hoping for the future?
I'm hoping to go into specifically nonprofit and maybe charity events, which is, I guess, perfect for taste.
Yes, it is actually. Okay, you're lined up. You're ready to go, girl. You're still in school and you're already hitting the mark. Chef, I'm coming to you. Tell me why True Lux wanted to get involved in something like this.
Well, this would be our 4th year probably participating with them, just for the benefit and just giving back to the community.
Yes, absolutely. So you have some ingredients. You've already dumped into our pan that we've got
I
going
dumped the rice.
here.
I got it
I
fried
like it.
right now.
You said we're getting cooking right away. Tell us what
fried.
you put in the pan.
So I put our rice pilaf in there. I'm adding some vegetables to give it that little Asian flair.
Yes, and some color too. Love
Color
that.
as well, yep.
Very good. And what's the dish called that we're making?
Just crab fried rice.
Ooh, oh, okay, this is going to be good. We've got an egg going in. And what kind of crab did you put in there, or that you're going to put in there?
We have our jumbo lump from our blue crab.
Ooh, oh, it's a blue crab.
It's a blue crab,
Very
nice
good.
jumbo lump pieces.
This is right up my
finished product.
alley. I'm from Virginia, so listen, we do blue crabs every day. So look, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Tell me how you guys go about curating the menu at True Lux.
Well, we source our fresh seafood from around the globe. So we take pride in bringing the fresh quality ingredients to the table.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so tell me, if someone wants to learn more about Taste 26 and what they can expect, what do you think they will see when they show up?
Well, you can learn more on our website, hendricksscholarship.org. And I think when you first show up to the actual fundraiser, you're going to see lots of action going on. We have over a dozen different restaurants that are coming out to support us. And there'll also be a live silent auction that you can do whether you're there or not, even if you can't make it out on this Thursday. And you'll also see a bunch of scholars because we're volunteering.
Very good, but I liked what you said in the fact that we can still support even if we can't show up. Tell us one more time how we can make that happen.
Yeah, by going to hendricksscholarship.org.
Perfect. Okay, let's talk about it because I think we're getting some color on our dish right now. Tell me, are we close to the end?
We're close to the end.
All right.
Close to the end.
Let's plate her up and then maybe give her a little taste. And this is something that's going to be at the event this Thursday,
Exactly,
yes?
yeah, we're serving crab fried rice at the event.
Ooh, very good. And there's going to be plenty of other local chefs as well, yes?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's give this a little taste-a-rooney, guys. And tell me about some of the other dishes that we have here on our table.
So we have our fresh Florida stone crab. It's available from October through May.
Uh-huh.
We have our drink.
Oh my
some
goodness.
white wine.
Perfect. A little color to go
color,
on
little
top.
crab.
You look, you're still garnishing, and I'm like, I'm trying to get in there. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's give this a little taste. And then if you could, tell me a little bit one more time about where we can find tickets and all the things.
That'll be on hendricksscholarship.org. And you can find everything from tickets to the silent auction to pretty much anything.
Girl. Chef. That's tasty. That is so good. Let me taste a little crab meat too. Hold on. Yep. You guys put this on your list. Put this on your list this week. This is something you're going to want to get into. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
You guys, I'm still chewing and I still have to tell you all the details. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. I can do it. It is all happening this Thursday at 6:30 at the Mercedes-Benz of Plano. To get your tickets or to learn so much more information, you can scan that QR code that's on your screen right there, or you can go to hendricksscholarship.org/events. And you guys know exactly how I'm going to be spending this next commercial break, diving into this fabulous fried rice. Let's talk about what's coming up tomorrow on GMT. Author, digital content creator, and storyteller Haley Grace McCormick takes us into the pages of her new novel, The Enemy of Time, and opens up about her struggle with dyslexia. Then Dallas-based chart-topping American history podcaster Lindsey Graham is here to tell us about his first ever live show at the Granada Theater. And cabbage is rapidly overtaking kale as a 2026 IT vegetable. We check out tasty ways to prepare the affordable and nutrient-dense superfood. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back. So much more GMT to come. The secret's out. Plexiderm is catching buzz in the beauty world. They say it's visibly smoothing under-eye puffiness, wrinkles, and crow's feet. And get this, just 10 minutes. This morning, lifestyle contributor Melinda McKenzie joins me to share why you should join the millions of people using Plexiderm to look better and feel younger. Hello.
Hello, Erin. And millions is no exaggeration. Plexiderm has been sold to millions. We've been around for over 8 years. So I'm so excited to talk to you about my favorite product.
Yes. Okay. Well, you actually brought some before and after photos. So tell us what we're seeing right here.
Yes, absolutely. So these are people that have tried Plexiderm. Do you have an issue under your eyes? Is it the forehead? Is it in between the eyes? Do you have puffiness? Do you have lines and creases? Do you have those dark circles? With Plexiderm, it's simply a serum. You put the smallest amount wherever you have that issue. For me, it's under the eyes. I'm 65 now, no injections or fillers, but I've lost the collagen and I have puffiness. When you put the smallest amount of Plexiderm on, the secret is it creates a nice, beautiful, invisible shield. And that's what we want to share with you. Do you want to boost for the day? Do you look in the mirror and go, I need a little something? I don't want to look tired. I'm proud of being 65, but I'd like to look my best 65. And that's what Plexiderm can do for you.
Yes, yes. Okay, so it does get rid, like you just said, of those signs of aging. So can you take us through the process? What is it actually like to use Plexiderm?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, Plexiderm is simply a serum. And what you're watching here is someone applying it, and they've speeded up the motion just so you can see how fast she's putting on a fan because the drying helps it. What Plexiderm is doing is creating this nice, beautiful, invisible shield. So that means anywhere on your skin that you would like it to look nice and fresh. The hardest part is waiting those 10 minutes. You're going to see a difference in 2 to 3. Please wait the full 10 so you can have up to 10 hours of usage. That's very important. And you can wear it with cosmetics, use water-based cosmetics, but you'll find you'll use less. And if you're a guy, guess what? You can't see your Plexiderm, and that's the best thing about it.
Oh, nice. Okay, I like that you fit in there, that men can use it too. Very good. You guys have won an Editor's Choice Award with L and with E, but what's even better is when you see how fast it works. 10 minutes we talked about.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And here's the thing, like you're seeing in the photos and videos, whether you go and get procedures or not, you could eat the wrong food, you could sleep the wrong way, and you wake up with puffiness. Isn't it great to know in just 10 minutes, Plexiderm can take care of that? And it doesn't matter what the issue is. Is it those forehead lines? Is it underneath the eyes? Remember, this is going to help with not only lines and creases, but puffiness and also those dark circles. So if you have any of those issues and you just want to boost for the day, remember, you just need the smallest amount. It's half of a pea size, and then you've got your boost. And then you just wash it off at the end of the day.
Very good. Okay, so you actually brought some clips of users' reactions after seeing themselves for the first time after applying Plexiderm. Let's take a listen to that.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow, is that really me? It's a facelift in a jar.
Isn't that great? And the reason people say that is because we're so used to waiting 6 to 8 weeks for something. Remember, this is a boost. This is just like styling your hair or wearing cosmetics. Put the smallest amount on, rest for 10 minutes, then you have up to 10 hours of usage. Wash it off at the end of the day. And I do want to point out, no matter what your skin type, tone, or texture is, it'll work for you. All you need is clean, dry skin in 10 minutes.
There you go. It's just that easy. And you even have a special going on right now.
We do. We will always offer you a 30-day money-back guarantee because we know how well Plexiderm works. So what we're offering is a trial pack. That means you get 6 applications for $14.95. You're going to get free shipping because we know you're going to love it. We don't want you reeled into anything. Go to plexidermtrial.com, call the number on your screen, or scan your code, and then reach out to us. We want to hear from you.
Melinda, thank you so much for getting us right in 2026 so we can look and feel our best. And if you at home are thinking, okay, I need this in my life, all you have to do to try this award-winning product for yourself and send them your results, you can take advantage of that offer that you just heard about. It has free shipping, and all you have to do is call 800-660-4091. You can also scan that QR code that's on your screen right there, or you can visit plexidermtrial.com for so much more information. We have all felt it, whether it's higher grocery bills, rising rent, or just the knowledge that money doesn't stretch as far as it used to. And with the start of a new month and tax season ahead, it is time for a March money reset. So financial educator Derek Kinney is here with practical ways to reset, refocus, and rebuild financial confidence. Good morning to you.
Thank you, Aaron. Great to see you.
So glad to have you here. So you say the first step to making some changes is a quick money audit. What does that look like? What does that mean?
Well, think of it like a financial x-ray. You go to the doctor, they're going to put up on the screen, here's where the problem is, you're going to identify what's happening. Do the same thing with your money. Take about 30 minutes and on your notes on your phone or on a piece of paper, write down, here's what I own, here's what I owe, here's the money I make, and here's the money that I pay out, and give you a sense of where am I at financially. It may look ugly, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But once you accept that fact and say, this is where I'm starting, now you can have a plan to know where to go from and start today fresh.
Plus, that's kind of a stress reliever because I think there's a ton of stress in the unknown, and we're scared to even tell ourselves our own information about our own bank accounts. And so it's not always easy to save. I want to make that very clear. It's not easy for every family to do that. So how can automating make such a difference when it comes to your financials?
Well, let's be honest. If people have to choose between partying with their friends or saving for retirement, most people pick their friends, right?
Yeah.
And the other problem is there's often more month left than there is money. And we want to fight the calendar, and if the calendar fights back.
Yes.
So the key is think about saving and investing like a bill. Do it first. And then whatever's left over, you can spend that. That way your priorities are budgeted and planned. And when you do that, you feel better. You feel like you're making progress, and it gives you confidence that I said no to something before. I can do it again to improve my personal financial situation.
I like this because, like you said, it is paying yourself, but you already have the money out of the way. It's out of the account. You don't need to touch it. What do you think is a realistic amount to start with?
Well, whatever you can afford, and then just a little bit more. So for some people, it might be $25 a month. It might be $50 a month. The amount is not so much as can you do it on a consistent basis and then respect your ability to handle money. When you can say, you know, I said no to something I wanted and I did that consistently, that gives you confidence to say, you know what, I did it once, I can do it again.
Yeah.
And it's very, very powerful regardless of where you start.
All of my shopaholics, this is for us, okay? We can say no and we will be okay. Now, for people who are struggling with budgeting, because sometimes it is hard to sit down and lay out everything that you have spent. Sometimes it's hard to even look at, how we just talked about. And so how does something like the 50-30-20 rule, how does that come into play with budgeting, and how does it make it easier?
Well, you want to look at needs and wants. And I think about this when I go to Home Goods. I call this the aisle of temptation. I go there to buy one item, but you weave through before you pay, and you find, I need that $9 item, that $9. Then you find, I spent $100 there, I meant to spend $25. So often I'll tell people, have an accountability partner. Have your Target or Home Goods accountability partner on speed dial and say, I'm about to do some binge shopping. I need you to walk me off the ledge and keep me out of that store, keep me in the parking lot. So sometimes just a word of accountability can help. But when you can set a budget and focus on the priorities that you've got, saving, you want to make sure you don't cut the joy out of your life. So many people think I need to cut all my Netflix and my Hulu, all my Amazon. And now you're sitting there, you're like knitting at home on a Friday night and you're bored stiff. Nobody's going to stick with a budget like that. Keep the joy in the budget, but find other places to cut and save.
Okay, I like this. Giving, what is the word? Minimalism. Like you can do it, but it doesn't have to be a ton, right?
That's right.
Also, I like the accountability partner thing because literally all you have to do is go shopping with your husband and he will make sure that you leave without spending too much.
That's a great partner right there, yeah.
The man does not want to be in there, okay? He's going to make sure you dip out. Now, let's talk about emergency funds. It can feel intimidating, especially when it feels like you're almost prepping for doomsday. And so what does that look like to make it more attainable for people?
The key is to have some sort of a rainy day fund, and you want to have two of them. One would be in a checking account that's very easy to find. Money is there if you need it, but also from a high yield savings account, keeping money that's out of sight, out of mind. That you do some extra hard work to pull it out of that. The key is not having to put the credit card down for every unexpected expense. When you've got cash to cover it, or you use the credit card and you have cash to pay it off in 30 days, now you're winning the credit card game and not losing theirs. That's the key, and when you're in control.
Yes, yes. Okay, so beyond numbers, there's an emotional side to money, right? Which I think we can all grow attached to the check that we receive. And so how can people rebuild their financial confidence without necessarily getting attached to what's coming in? It's not who they are.
So, crazy story. Had a woman, longtime client, and she shares with me, Derek, I bounced a check. She thought she was going to be sent to jail because she saw her dad as a kid receive a phone call that said he was going to get sent to jail because he bounced a check. 55-year-old successful woman on the outside, picture of success. On the inside, this wilting flower, she had bad money beliefs. Ask yourself right now, if you're not making the money you feel like you deserve, you're not getting the promotion you want, you feel like you're not successful with money, you might have some beliefs about money that feels like you're not good at it.
Yeah.
I like to carry a huge reset button with me all the time, and I press it frequently. Derek made a mistake, reset. Derek made a mistake, reset. Do the same thing with your money, always starting fresh. Just start today, start Monday, and if you do good decisions today, then you can do it Tuesday, and then Wednesday. Now you're on a hot streak, and you're a success, not a failure financially.
It's about consistency
That's
and
exactly
grace
right.
and giving ourselves grace. These are great tips, Derek. Tell us quickly where we can find you.
Instagram is the hot spot for Derek. Derek Kinney, daily tips on how to make money, save money, and also how to give more money away.
Very good. Thanks so much for being here this morning.
My pleasure.
We'll be right back, you guys. For more than 15 years, Margie Barilla has been focused on one thing, bettering the lives of foster youth. She's planning a gala on March 26th with the sole purpose to raise awareness for displaced foster children and trafficked youth. And she joins me this morning to invite you to come out and share more about her efforts that she is making an impact with right here in our community. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
So glad to have you. So you've always wanted to help others. Tell me, why were galas the right avenue for you to make this impact?
Well, we have a big surprise coming up. We are working on securing a facility in Collin County for children that are couch surfing.
Wow.
And they are displaced. There are about 100 children currently that are needing a permanent space until they can finish high school. So we've really been very solution driven. Besides outside of the foundation, we have other treatment centers as well that we're setting up in each state as a safe house. So we're so excited to be able to just share all of our purpose and how we're going to take this to a whole different level outside of already the major projects.
Yes, yes. Okay, well, let's talk about this year's gala, why it's especially important. You said you're working on this new space. Is this going to help fund that?
So yes, this is 100%. All the proceeds will not just go here to North Texas. We have 3 other galas as well set up. We have one in Nevada, Illinois, as well as DC for this year.
Oh my goodness, very good.
Yes.
Okay, so you're making your impact across the country.
We had an issue that we continue getting calls about the displacement and having numerous conversations, and I think it's time for us to just provide a solution. That is exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, can I ask, how large is the need in our region?
Just in Collin County alone, we're speaking on 100 children.
Wow, wow.
So you can only imagine if it's other counties, how much more the need is there.
How many more kids are being added to the list?
Absolutely.
My gosh. Okay, so tell me, what are you most excited about? Because this organization, it's evolving, it's growing. What do you hope for the next chapter?
It's to have stability, consistency, and just be solution driven.
Yes, yes. Okay, so attendees, what do you hope they feel when they walk into the gala? Tell me more about the event.
Empathy, compassion. Not everyone may have experienced it, but at least for that moment, that night, I want them to feel what it's like to really immerse into what we currently have and just being grateful for everything that we currently have.
Yes, and I think it's so easy for us to forget what we should be grateful for, because we wake up and we start our day and we get rolling and we don't think about the fact that it's a blessing to wake up, or the fact that it was a blessing to wake up in our own bed, right? And so, or even drive our cars or our legs to walk to get into work, you know?
These are just kids that want to finish high school.
Yes, yes.
Why not? They just need a place to lay their head. They need a place to just shower, be able to study when they need. So the resources will be at this center, and we're so excited because it's driven towards 13 to 17-year-olds. This will be our first model, and we do plan on opening one in every other state as well, where the galas are being held.
Nice. Okay, so for viewers who are listening, they want to get involved, they want to help out, they want to attend the gala. How can they do so?
Well, today is my birthday. I just turned 48.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Also, too, the website goes live at 3:02, March 2nd. So what better way to celebrate my birthday Again, it's about paying it forward and just being selfless.
This is such good information. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for the
having me.
impact that you're
Thank you.
making, not only in our community, but like we just talked about, across the country. Fabulous information. And the Margie Barilla Foundation Gala, it is on March 26th. All you have to do is call 214-884-8618, or you can go to margiebarilla.foundation.org for tickets and so much more information.
Wardrobe for our hosts is sponsored by Dillard's at North Park Center.
We've got some big news for the ice cream lovers out there. Bluebell just announced it's rolling out a new flavor, honey vanilla. My goodness, that sounds good. That's right. Soon, pints of honey vanilla will be in stores, and you have got to act fast if you want some. The flavor will only be available for a limited time, but Bluebell also announced that it's bringing back its coffee and chocolate flavored Java Jolt. I do love some Bluebell, you guys, and this honey vanilla sounds like it's going to be delicious, especially with maybe like a brownie or a cinnamon roll. Oh, so good. All right. If you missed anything from today's show, remember you can always rewatch GMT on your own time on the free to download WFA Plus streaming app for your TV. You can also download it to your phone, but you can watch entire shows that you may have missed under that news tab. You can also select just the segments from our show to watch on demand. That's going to be at 1 p.m. on KFAA and on WFA Plus. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. We'll see you right back here tomorrow, but until then, have a good morning, Texas. I'll see you later.